Is it still possible to climb to the top in America?
There was a study, and in that report, it ranked Charlotte as 50th out of the 50 largest metropolitan areas when it comes to economic mobility.
For example, if that child grew up in Charlotte, you see rates of upward mobility of about 4%.
We should be concerned that there's a persistent problem in many parts of America, like Charlotte, where kids from disadvantaged backgrounds really don't have great odds of succeeding. And I think it's critical to identify policies that can change that situation.
Charlotte is 50th out of 50 for economic mobility. Stated differently, if you're born poor in Charlotte today, you're unlikely to escape that during your lifetime.
The economic mobility study was more of a reckoning with something that a lot of us had felt for a long time. It did serve as a wake-up call, and it did help galvanize a community and lots of different partners to say, this isn't okay, and we're not going to stand for it. United Way and some other funders and stakeholders decided that we needed to get resources into the communities that were most impacted, and we needed to do it pretty quickly.
And so we at United Way decided we need to do something different. We engaged folks from the activist community as well as the more traditional philanthropic community, and what resulted was Unite Charlotte, a new funding source that allows smaller organizations, many of which are minority-led organizations, to have access to United Way, but also the larger philanthropic community for the first time in years.
We really sought out organizations that were small, grassroots, new, but really those agencies that were focused on racial equity and social justice.
At Refugee Support Services, we are a post-resettlement agency.
With Profound Gentlemen, we build communities of male educators of color.
Stelletto-Bosch University was created to teach young girls about entrepreneurship.
Black Tech Charlotte is Charlotte's first inclusive tech community. The Unite Charlotte grant, when we were awarded, it was just a moment of like, oh my gosh, this is incredible.
Oh God, I'm super excited about it. It is like our first official grant being our own nonprofit.
This was about how do you take chances on organizations that maybe we wouldn't always take that chance on, but we would know that in order to get a different result, we have to do our work differently.
Through the Unite Charlotte grant, through United Way, we have been able to increase services and increase partnerships with the city and other agencies within Charlotte.
But Unite Charlotte has allowed us to really grow in our programming. We have been able to really grow our membership, which is really, really cool.
By receiving this funding, it's just going to really help us get into more schools.
And I think that's why it's important for us to have the resources specifically to help us offer more and build capacity.
These organizations are pushing on the edges to say, how can we as a community bring new and innovative ideas to the table?
Unite Charlotte has been one of the most exciting things that I've gotten to be a part of. Seeding this kind of innovation and thought leadership in the arena of racial equity and social justice right now in our community is worth the time, it's worth the investment, and I think it's going to end up yielding some positive things for the community.
To have an organization like the United Way to say, listen, we want to offer this opportunity to organizations making change in our community, you almost get this lifeline, so to speak. Because not only does the grant obviously provide necessary resources, but you are also attached to, I think, a larger community, and I think that makes us richer.
It gives other organizations like ours hope.
Changing community conditions is hard work. No one organization can do it alone. We ask you to be part of that change with us. We ask you to be one of those folks who join us day after day to help create the kind of change we all want to see in our neighborhoods and across the greater Charlotte region today.